and I'm happy it wasn't a one-sided slaughter. I'm really happy it wasn't a one-sided slaughter, because I like how it was bit by bit with Miriam. I definitely like the way it was bit by bit, and Netero was just going ham. Now, the level that Netero was at right now may not be taken into scale because of the damage not being inflicted on Miriam, so people may not put it into scale. But I have to say, so far in the series, his moves are so OP. All he needs to do is clap, and it's over. So I think we got a little bit of foreshadowing in this episode when they were talking, when Miriam basically said that Netero had to be brought to a point of madness to get to where he is now. Now, is that the? I'm thinking that's foreshadowing going a little bit, because we're kind of, at the same time, we're kind of experiencing the madness within Gon. So is this a foreshadow for Gon being as strong as Netero, or even stronger? So that's what I was getting from that foreshadow, like when he was like, you had to be at the brink of madness at some point in your life. Then we had a flashback that didn't really show madness, but we had a flashback. But basically that's what Miriam said to bring him to this point. So I think that's the point we're experiencing right now with Gon. Other than that, this fight was flawless. I mean, the dialogue was on point, which was the best part. The dialogue, everything that Miriam was saying, he gained 2 new respects for Netero. Every time Netero powered up, he's like, oh, I gained more respect. And then we get the hype moments where Netero's leg got cut off, and the animation was key. His leg got cut off, and he was still fighting. It was nothing to him. So this fight was just amazing. I like how they took the whole episode to do it, even though technically this fight really lasted about a minute or and some change. If you caught what the narrator said, he was like, all these moves lasted up to like a minute. So technically this fight wasn't even going on for that long. So other than that minute, it was a pretty cool fight. I'm not gonna lie. So the fact, like I was saying, the fact that Miriam didn't get hurt probably took away the shock value for some people. People are still hyped, but I'm thinking they're not hyped to the scale that they should be, because of the damage that wasn't inflicted on Miriam. But anybody else, like it had to be, it was like a perfect matchup. It had to be Netero versus Miriam, because anybody else, it would even get to this point. All Netero had to do was just like he did to Neferpitou. That's all he had to do to everybody else. So obviously Miriam was catching on, and every fight, I think that, or every encounter that Miriam is gonna get into after this fight, he's gonna bring up the game versus Komugi, because for some reason he keeps referencing this, and that's probably what's helping him fight. Now, you can say this is a development of the kings, that he's using this board game now to strategize his battles. But is there gonna be at some point where that's not gonna help him, like he's going against Komugi? Is he gonna fight against somebody who's just as strong as her, as far as in fighting style? You know what I mean, like he can't win. So somebody else like that is gonna be brought up into the series. Now, I did like the ending, and this is what my biggest problem was with this fight and with this arc. I felt like there was no sense of danger, in a sense, as far as, I think this arc was introduced a little too early. Now, obviously I'm not doubting Togashi and everything, because, I mean, it's Togashi. But the fact that the Chimera ants are so like, yeah, like a tragic state, or whatever you want to call it, they came into this series basically trying to take over the world and all that stuff. I felt like there was no sense of danger, because I'm like, we're the top tiers, because obviously Netero can't be the top tiers. So where are the top tiers? Like, if the Chimera ants are really this dangerous, like, where's Gon's dad? Like, where are these top tier characters? Why is Zeno leaving the scene? I don't care what his assassin's contract is. If the danger of the world is at stake, I don't care what your contract is. You should be here fighting this guy. So I felt as though the sense of danger wasn't really in the series, even though it kind of was. I felt like it wasn't really there, because I'm like, where are the top tier characters? We should be getting The top tier is coming out the woodworks trying to take out Miriam. But the way it ended was perfect, because now we get a sense that this is the first official time we've seen Miriam like afraid, like seriously afraid. This is the official time. So he when Netero basically what Netero said is, you know, I'm not the only one. There's more like me. You have more to fear, stuff like that. So basically, what he's trying to say is there's top tier on this planet. Humans, like, don't think I lead the humans. There are top tier characters that are gonna come and wipe you out, bro. So this is what I needed. This is what I needed from this fight, and I got that. The dialogue. That's all I really wanted from the fight. I don't care. Like, the action scenes were dope and everything, but I wanted the dialogue, because I'm like, what are they gonna say to each other? Because I felt like there was no sense of danger, really. I felt like this is kind of blah, because we're the top. If the world is really in danger, we're the top tier characters. So I don't know why, but that's the way I was thinking. You know, I had to think logically. I'm sorry, but with the logic put in, I was like, we're the top tier characters. So I felt as though the closing of Netero was perfect. That's what ended the fight off perfectly, because now we get a sense that the king saw something. We saw the skull, like the Grim Reaper-ish look, the darkness, all that stuff within Netero, and he's saying, yo, there are people out there that are gonna take you out in one shot, bro, and it's not gonna be cool. So he's basically saying humanity is not at his last foot. I'm not the last one. There's more. And we got the fear within Miriam, and the fear was perfect. That's what I wanted to see in Miriam, because the king has been highlighted as to be OP. This man Netero was watching him throughout the whole battle, and it was only up until the last move that he did that Miriam actually got hurt. So this whole time Miriam was just brushing off attacks. So that last move kind of scratched him up a little bit. We saw some cuts on him and everything, but that bomb at the end, that explosion was key. I don't know if he's gonna survive that. He probably will. I don't know if he's gonna be like a cell, like have bodies out and everything, but I don't know how he's gonna come back and how he's gonna look. But obviously he's gonna be messed up, because that move, that last bomb seems bigger than what Netero's last move was. So the king's probably messed up by now. So one last thing, everybody, you know, we heard, I believe it's on Anime News Network, that Togashi, that Hunterxhunter is coming back in June. So I'm probably gonna start reading the manga now and catch up and everything. So I'm probably gonna be putting out chapter reviews whenever it comes back. Now I already know that the drawings aren't perfect, but I'm sure he's probably gonna come back with some pretty decent drawings, and the story's obviously gonna kick up. So I'm gonna read ahead, but I'm not gonna let it sidetrack me from the actual show. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, because I still want the suspense from the show. So I don't want to read ahead and get spoiled and not really have that suspense for the show. So I don't know yet. Maybe like at the end of May, I'm gonna just start like skimming through the chapters. But for now, I'm just gonna do the spoil-free reviews for the anime. So that's all I really wanted to say. But other than that, this episode was perfect. I like the dialogue once again. I hate the fact that there was really no sense of danger in this arc. Not the sense that they weren't dangerous, the Chimera Ants, but the sense that we're the top tiers. How come no one's coming here to fight these Chimera Ants if the world is really at stake? So that I really like the dialogue at the end, and how Netero ended off killing himself and everything like that. I like that part, because now we see that the Miriam is scared. Now he knows that there's people out there, and I think they highlighted Gon a little bit in this. If you could see the foreshadows. Other than that, leave your comments down below. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed.